Hello there and welcome to MCJ Sports. My name is Marco Yerkovich, and today we'll be discussing our power rankings for Week 13 of the NFL season. Joining me today is Easton Nelson.
What's up, guys?
Also Spencer Allgood.
How's it going, y'all?
Before I begin, I'd just like to remind everyone to please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below.
Let's get the rankings rolling.
At number 10, I have the Seattle Seahawks. Other than Russell Wilson, there's literally not a person on this team that really blows you away. It's crazy because without Russell Wilson on this team, the Seahawks would not be a good team whatsoever.
Is that all you got?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I mean, the Seahawks, there's not a whole lot going there except for Russell Wilson. I mean, you're not wrong. So you got him at 10. I'm not very confident in my 10th pick. I have Dallas.
I also have Dallas.
Really?
I almost
Okay.
put them.
Yeah, I mean, they're rolling it. Since that loss to the Titans, they've got things together. The addition of Amari Cooper gives them an over-the-top receiving threat that balances well with the underneath of Cole Beasley. The defense, Leighton Vander Esch, the guy
Really
from
good.
Boise State, the linebacker, he's playing really well. So I've got him at 10. Spencer, you got the Cowboys at 10
Got
too?
the Cowboys, yeah.
All right. Easton, who do you have at 9?
Well, at number 9, I have the Houston Texans. They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL. I love Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins, and their offense as a whole has a lot of targets that Deshaun can throw to, as well as their defense. One of the top defenses in the league with J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney and just everybody as a whole. So I really like their team.
All right. So at 9, I have the Minnesota Vikings.
I also have the Minnesota Vikings.
All right, good. That's awesome. They haven't played really great at all this season. They've just played well enough to beat teams, and I assume eventually they'll hit their stride. But their record is good enough to be in my 9th spot, and they're a good enough team that they'll figure things out.
When you have Kirk Cousins leading the offense, he's good enough to win you enough games to make it to the playoffs, but every time there's a crucial game that you have to win, he will blow it. That is how he does it.
Which is really
Yeah.
surprising to me because I thought with Sam Bradford and Case Keenum last year, they played pretty well, and now they're trash, honestly. And then I thought Kirk Cousins coming in, he would take a step up and make this team go over the hump.
Really? Okay.
I did.
All right. So who do you have at 8?
At 8, I have the Vikings.
Okay.
Same thing as you guys.
After you just called them trash, you have them higher up.
No,
than we
I
do.
said Case Keenum and Sam Bradford are trash.
Trash
okay.
this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
this year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sam Bradford's not even on the Cardinals anymore.
Is it really not?
Yeah, he got cut
Hmm.
like 3 weeks ago.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
think I ever heard about that.
And then he'll get signed by someone else. He'll have enough games to get a contract, and then he'll get cut again. It's a cycle.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
a
cycle
cycle.
of the backup quarterback in the NFL. It's kind of a systematic problem. So speaking of a team that knows a lot about backup quarterbacks playing on their team, the Houston Texans, who finally have a real quarterback in Deshaun Watson, and they're proving that that's really all they needed. The defense is amazing, and honestly, the addition of the Honey Badger at cornerback has really helped shore up their defense. And, the offense, of course, with Watson is rolling.
Is that who you have at 8?
Yes.
I got the Steelers at 8.
Okay. Finally some difference. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, Steelers, they're a solid ball club. I don't know if they'll win any games in the playoffs if they find a way
I
to
hope
sneak
not.
in, but they got weapons, and they're playing good football right now. I just don't think they're good enough to make any kind of run in the playoffs.
Well, down to number 7, I have the LA Chargers. They're also one of the hottest teams in the league as they've won, 7 straight? I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
No, well, they lost to the Broncos.
oh, yeah, that's right.
But
That's right.
Yeah,
they've
you're
won
a
like
Case
7 of
Keenum
8. Yeah,
trash.
they're on
Case Keenum trash.
fire. They're good.
But, I mean, I think that, honestly, out of all the teams in the league, I think they have the best balance on offense and defense. I mean, they have all the weapons on offense and Keenan Allen and Phillip Rivers. I mean, one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league, I think. And then their defense, they're really solid. I can't remember what stat it was, but they're 3rd in the league in most defensive categories. And, I mean, you have Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram on the pass rushers. It's really hard to go up against.
Yeah, and I also have the Chargers at 7, kind of for the main reasons you have them. Their balance is phenomenal. Just one guy to highlight that you didn't mention, safety Derwin James is playing amazing. He's a rookie out of Florida State. I think he might make the Pro Bowl, and I don't know the last time a rookie made the Pro Bowl. So, that's something special. So, Spencer?
My 7 is the Bears. I know they're probably a better squad than most you'll have at 7, but I'm just waiting to see where Trubisky's at. after he comes back from this injury, because if he's not 100%, I don't think the Bears offense really stands a chance.
Down to number 6, I have your Patriots. They get Burkhead back this week, which should open up some options on the offensive end. Sonny Michel, is he still hurt? Or did he come back?
He came back.
I think
He came back
Yeah.
during the game.
Yeah. And as many running backs as the Patriots have, they always make them work no matter who it is. And you have Tom Brady. And what else do you need to say?
Yeah, they're a solid team. At 6, I have the Chicago Bears. Kind of like you said, they're a good team, but with Trubisky, and now especially with this injury, but even just as a young quarterback, they are a limited team, but their defense is so phenomenal that it gets them on this list. The creative play calling offensively by Matt Nagy. It's amazing to see the difference between Trubisky in his first year and his second year. It's kind of parallel to the transition that Goff had between his first year with Jeff Fisher and his second year with Sean McVay. Just the growth, and it kind of proves that this league is all about quarterbacks and head coaches. And Chicago have 2 that I like, so I have them at 6.
For 6, I've got the Chargers there. I think Phillip Rivers is playing really well right now. What was he? Completed his first 25 passes last Sunday.
Yeah, he had the highest completion percentage of any quarterback that threw more than 15 passes. He was 28 for 29, something like that.
That is a very impressive stat line.
Yeah.
And if he can do that for a few more games and maybe a playoff game, I think the Chargers could win a game in the postseason, which isn't very normal.
Number 5, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're in position to win the AFC North, which I know you're happy about because you want to see me suffer. But, their defense was one of the worst at the beginning of the season. They've completely turned that around, being one of the better defensive teams, which is pretty surprising because there's not huge names on that defense besides Joe Hayden and Cameron Hayward. But I have them at number 5.
Yeah, I have them at 5 as well. That defensive line, I guess outside of the Chargers, who now, with Bosa back, they've got an amazing D-line, but they have one of the scariest D-lines, along with the defensive players you talked about, Stephon Tuitt at defensive tackle, and then outside linebacker TJ Watt. They're playing amazing. And, of course, we know about all the weapons they have on offense. It's, even with the dysfunction with Le'Veon Bell, if Antonio Brown is causing a mess, getting upset, whatever, they have the talent to overcome it. So it doesn't matter. I have them at 5.
I got the Texans at 5. I think the way they're playing right now, it doesn't matter who they play. It doesn't matter if it's the Saints, Rams, or Chiefs. If they go into the game, they have the confidence to win, and they have the ability to threaten anyone. I don't know if they'll be able to continue the streak they're on right now, but they're playing about as hot as anyone in the NFL, and I think if they keep it up, they're a real threat.
At number 4, I have the Chicago Bears. I think Chicago has the best defense in the NFL, honestly. I think they have one of the most takeaways, or not the most, but top 3, I think it is, they have of takeaways in a game. And Trubisky, I think he's going to be all right when he comes back. It wasn't a too severe of an injury, and I don't think they have a shot at the Super Bowl because they have to play the Saints and the Rams, but I think they might be able to contend.
Okay, so at 4, I have a team that you might think is a little too low on my list, but I have the Kansas City Chiefs. The offense is amazing, don't get me wrong. Probably the most dynamic, creative, just overall probably the best offense in the NFL, maybe outside of New Orleans. But the defense is abysmal. Okay, 32nd in total defense, in passing defense, in first down defense. They don't create turnovers. They can't get off the field. This team is awful defensively. Even if they get Eric Berry back, I don't see any of that changing. And unfortunately, we've already seen twice that teams with similar offensive statures in the Rams and the Patriots just have enough defense to beat them. So that doesn't bode well for them in the postseason when they're going to be playing those good games. So, yeah, I think I got Kansas City at 4, and that's probably their ceiling for me.
I've got the Patriots at 4. I think once it comes playoff time, old Tom is going to come out and whip out some magic. He's going to be like playoff LeBron and just do things that he shouldn't be able to do at this age, and he's going to make them go deep, maybe even another Super Bowl appearance. But, I got them at 4 right now just because they have a one less win than the Chiefs do.
And at number 3, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is the team that's going to come out of the AFC. I know you probably don't have that, but I just love their offense. They have so many weapons, and the defense does scare me because they're just atrocious. you can't say anything about that. So I have them at number 3.
Yeah, so at number 3, I have the Patriots. Just because of the head-to-head win with the Chiefs, they've proven that they're the better team, at least on one Sunday. And of course, even though Mahomes is putting up amazing numbers when it comes to playoff time, or even right now, I'd take Tom Brady over Patrick Mahomes to go out and win me a game just due to that experience.
Yeah, I've got the Chiefs in there. People hate on Big 12 defenses all the time, and the Chiefs look just like a Big 12 team. And you could say all you want about them having the worst defense in the NFL, but until a team other than the Saints or the Rams or maybe even the Patriots proves that they can score as much as them, they're going to destroy everyone. And I think even when it comes to the playoffs, they're going to be able to outscore anyone, even if their defense sucks.
Yeah, all right. So now we're into the top 2.
At number 2, I have the LA Rams. You know I love this team. I'm still pulling for them, but with how good the Saints are doing, it's hard to see, especially with the loss of Cooper Kupp. And still, I want their defense to step up a little bit more because it seems like they have one of the better defenses, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, they have, by name recognition, they have one of the best defenses probably of all time, but they are not at all playing up to it. Marcus Peters is trying to play hero ball. The linebacking core has been well documented on this podcast. Is on this channel, I guess.
One of the worst.
Is one of the worst.
Besides
in
the
league.
Bengals.
Just awful. But everything else about the Rams just provides me hope that they can be the number 1 team in the NFL. But for right now, those factors limit them as my number 2.
And I have the Rams as well in the number 2 spot. And the fact that I saw that really says something. Aaron Donald leads the league in sacks, is double teamed on 73% of snaps.
That's amazing.
Which should mean Sue should be doing more, but he's not.
Sue needs to get in there. Ebu Camp needs to get in there. The defensive line is not playing that well.
Against the Chiefs, he got a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
Casually.
But who created the turnovers?
Just a young man named Aaron Donald.
Yes. So yeah, the Rams, they're good, but they have a couple of flaws that limit them. Any other year, they'd probably be the best team, but talk about a team with no flaws. We all have them at number 1. Yeah, New Orleans Saints. They are playing some of the best football I've seen a team play in the recent history. And they're just firing on all cylinders. Their defensive backfield, their secondary had questions. They got Eli Apple from New York, and
he's been doing better.
It's been doing better. It's still not great, but it's good enough for a team that's scored 40 points 6 times this season already.
Yeah, they're just playing stupid good football right now. No one can stop them. Even the Rams got ran up on, and even though in a game they couldn't even keep up in the scoreline, and they signed Brandon Marshall, right?
Right, and then lost him, and then. Sorry, that was Dez Bryant.
Yeah.
But now they have Brandon Marshall,
which
we'll see what he does. He's another weapon.
He's washed up.
Michael Thomas, probably one of the top 5 receivers in the league, best running back tandem in the NFL, and probably the MVP frontrunner in Drew Brees. So this team is going to be hard to stop.
Going off of that, I honestly think they have a Pro Bowler at every position. I mean, their offensive line is amazing too. I can't remember what it was. I think they're number 3 in the league in pressures allowed. Like they allow no pressures at all on Drew Brees, which allows him to throw to his targets.
Yeah, I mean they're a really great team, and they also have the ageless wonder at tight end, which is Benjamin Watson. He's 37.
I didn't realize he was that old.
Which is amazing.
I think it was last podcast.
That's almost more impressive than Tom Brady playing at 41, because to play that physical of a position at 37 is amazing. So yeah, I mean just everything about the Saints is clicking. I mean, unless there's some terrible injury or some just unforeseen catastrophe, the Saints are the favorites by a lot, I would say, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't say by a lot. I still think they're
by quite a little bit.
Really?
Quite a little bit. I think they're.
I'm looking
quite
forward
a bit
to that
better
game.
than the
Hopefully it
Rams.
happens.
I mean, Alvin Kamara. I mean, he looks like Lil Uzi. He plays with a septum piercing in. He's just an absolute unit.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's the lightning to Mark Ingram's thunder. They are a great tandem. And Mark Ingram, I think he was kind of lost in the shuffle of the NFL, but in the past few years with the Saints, he's really got his rhythm and proven why he was such a high draft pick and a Heisman winner. And yeah, you talked about that offensive line. They're so good. So yeah, so we all have the Saints at 1. We've kind of talked about why, and you just feel like this team is Super Bowl bound, if not, ready to win this title, already. So that was our power rankings for Week 13 of the NFL season. Joining me was Spencer Allgood and Easton Nelson. My name was Marco Yerkovich. Remember, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to the channel. We will see you guys next time.